ain't have nothing to do with me nor Kirk. Them bitches was coming at you about your because they had too much ammo for you.
Don't act like you didn't say that.
I wasn't there. And I damn sure ain't gonna come to somebody about they on some half.
The tension in the room was so thick you could almost feel it in the air. It was as if a storm was building up just below the surface of what was supposed to be a simple taping of a reality show. The cameras were on, the lights blazed down brightly, and the crew was prepared. Yet, for Yandy and Rasheeda, everything else seemed to fade into the background. It was just the two of them, locked in an intense battle that had been brewing for a long time. Yandy had always been a woman known for her strength, but tonight, the weight of the situation was pushing her to the edge. The source of the drama had always been connected to Mendez, but it had never felt this personal, this intense. Now, with cameras recording every moment, it felt like everything was starting to unravel. Rasheeda had been a significant part of Yandy's life for years, a friend, a confidant. But when it came to Mendez, their relationship had always been complicated. There was no denying the bond between Rasheeda and Mendez, a shared past that lingered just beneath the surface. But everything began to shift when Mendez became involved with Yandy. Rasheeda tried at first to support the relationship, but over time, she started to question Mendez's loyalty and the decisions he was making. And now, in front of the cameras, it was clear that all of her frustrations were bubbling up, and she wasn't holding back. Yandy could feel the heat rising in her chest as Rasheeda's words cut through the air sharp and biting. It wasn't the usual teasing or banter that had characterized their relationship. This was different. This was real. Rasheeda's dislike of Mendez's choices had grown over time, and now she wasn't pretending to be anything but vocal about it. Every word seemed like a personal attack, aimed directly at Yandy, as if her relationship with Mendez was a betrayal. "Are you really going to sit here and defend him?" Rasheeda's voice dripped with disbelief. "After everything he's done, you're still going to act like he's your knight in shining armor?" Yandy's blood boiled, but she forced herself to stay calm, knowing that this wasn't the time to let her emotions take over. Still, the hurt was deep, burning inside her. Rasheeda had always been quick to point out Mendez's flaws, quick to blame him for the issues between them. But now it felt like an attack on Yandy herself, as if Rasheeda was questioning her decisions and everything that had led her to this point. "Why do you always have something to say about Mendez?" Yandy's voice was firm, though it shook with the frustration she had been holding in for far too long. "You're not the one in this relationship. I am. I'm the one who has to deal with his mistakes, his baggage, and his past. So don't sit there and act like you know what's best for me." Rasheeda scoffed, rolling her eyes, but Yandy wasn't finished. She had reached her limit. This wasn't the time to hold back, not when her heart was on the line. "You've been sitting on the sidelines, judging me, judging him. You've always had your opinions, but you've never been in our shoes," Yandy continued, her voice rising as she became more passionate. "You don't know what we've been through, what I've had to forgive. And yet, here you are, acting like you have all the answers." The tension between them was palpable. The air was thick with years of unspoken resentment and unresolved issues. It was no longer just about Mendez. It was something deeper. It was the rivalry between them, the unspoken jealousy that had simmered for years. Rasheeda's presence in Mendez's life had always felt like a shadow hanging over Yandy's relationship with him, and now it seemed to be coming to a head. Rasheeda's face twisted in anger, her eyes narrowing as she shot back at Yandy. "You think you're the only one who's had to deal with Mendez's mess? You think I don't know what it's like to be in a relationship with someone who keeps making the same mistakes? He's hurt both of us. And I'm tired of watching you pretend like he's changed. You're letting him drag you down, Yandy." Those words hit Yandy like a slap in the face. For a brief moment, it felt like the ground beneath her shifted. She wanted to scream, to lash out at Rasheeda for all the pain she had caused over the years. But she couldn't, not now. The cameras were rolling, and the world was watching. She refused to give anyone the satisfaction of seeing her break. But inside, everything felt like it was falling apart. Mendez's mistakes, Rasheeda's constant interference, the drama that seemed to follow them wherever they went, it was all too much. Yandy had tried to hold it together for so long, but tonight, It felt like the dam was about to break. The fight between them intensified. Voices rose, accusations were thrown back and forth, and the crew stood off to the side, unsure of how to intervene. They could tell that what was happening in front of them was bigger than just a disagreement between two women. It was the breakdown of a relationship, a battle for control, and a fight for respect that had been simmering for years. In the end, there was no resolution. Yandy stormed off, furious and exhausted, leaving Rasheeda with her simmering anger. The cameras continued to capture every moment of the fallout, but for Yandy, the real battle was only just beginning. It wasn't just about Mendez or Rasheeda anymore. It was about finding a way to navigate the mess her life had become, and whether she could ever trust anyone again, especially herself. The gossip surrounding Yandy's relationship continued to spread. Word on the street was that Mendez had grown tired of calling Yandy his wife and had finally returned to the love of his life, Erica. Some even claimed that Mendez and Erica had already gotten married. Things were getting messier by the day. Yandy had already made it clear that she wasn't going down without a fight. She called out Mendez for hurting her, and her message to Erica was unmistakable: leave her man, or else there would be consequences when they met. It was no secret that Yandy's pride was the only thing keeping her in the marriage at this point. But now, with Mendez moving in with Erica, Yandy had lost control. For those who had been following the drama closely, the situation was about to get even more complicated. Mendez had been released from prison earlier in the year after serving time for drug-related charges. While he was incarcerated, Yandy had done everything she could to keep the family together. She worked hard to maintain their relationship, and after his release, it seemed like the hard work would pay off. Yandy was determined to make their marriage work, even attending therapy to address the issues between them. But instead of returning her loyalty with love, Mendez decided to move on to Erica. If you've been following the love triangle between Mendez, Yandy, and Erica, you know that Yandy has always been in denial about the true state of her marriage. Deep down, she must have known that Mendez was still involved with Erica, but her pride and stubbornness prevented her from accepting the truth. She pretended that everything was fine, but in reality, things had been falling apart for a long time. Erica had been in Mendez's life long before Yandy. Mendez's first baby mama, Samantha, even revealed that Erica was one of the few women he truly loved. Erica and Mendez once shared a life together, matching passports, vacations, and meeting his family. They were deeply committed to each other, and Erica helped care for his child when Samantha wasn't around. But when things weren't looking good for Mendez, he needed someone stable, someone with a solid future plan. That's when he met Yandy and married her, even though he never let go of his connection to Erica. Now that Mendez was out of prison and financially secure, he moved out of their home and into a new house with Erica, restarting their relationship. The situation was getting out of control, and it seemed like Yandy was the one left holding the pieces. To be honest, I don't think Yandy deserves what Mendez has done to her. She supported him, held the family together, and got caught in the drama of his complicated relationships. She put up with disrespect from his mother and worked tirelessly to care for his children. And all for what? For him to tell her that he only stayed in the marriage out of obligation, not love. Mendez even admitted that if the roles were reversed, he would never have supported her the way she supported him.
That ain't have nothing to do with me nor Kirk. Them bitches was coming at you about your because they had too much ammo for you.
Don't act like you didn't say that.
I wasn't there. And I damn sure ain't gonna come to somebody about they on some half